Sorry, we have a 7:30 basketball championship game in Merchantville, so we want to get busy. The Runnemede Board of Education meeting is called to order. The Board of Education is in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 entitled the Open Public Meetings Act. The time, date, and location of this meeting was appropriately advertised by notifying the retrospect, as well as posting notices in the Borough Hall, Runnemede Post Office, Maryville School, Alliant Bingham School, Grace County School, and the Runnemede Public School District website. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call board members.
Mrs. Derrick?
Here.
Ms. Beebe?
Here.
Ms. Davidson?
Here.
Ms. Farrell?
Here.
Mr. Murray? Here. Ms. O'Brien?
Here.
Ms. Panzarella?
Here.
Ms. Sams? Ms. Spalding?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Also present, Mark Iannucci, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Sean McCarron, Business Administrators, Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Barbie Sams just arrived at 6:30 and 30 seconds. Jade Yazzie, we started early so we can try and get to this basketball game for Maria and Mark. Jade Yazzie, Principal Bingham and Downing School. Steve Peely, Principal Volk School. Steve Maloney, Vice Principal Volk School. Gladys Hubbard, Director of Special Education, and Frank Hines, Supervisor of Building and Grounds. At this time, I need a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from February 15th.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes.
Motion made by Maria. Need a second? I'm sorry, second by Angel. Roll call.
Mrs. Derrick?
Abstain.
Ms. Beebe?
Abstain.
Ms. Davidson?
Abstain.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Abstain? No, I'm just kidding, yes.
I'm like, wait, I'm counting. I'm like, Ms. Spalding.
No, we forgot Miss Sams.
Did you say me?
Oh, Ms. Sams, sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
I abstained. I was at my community literacy event. I was not here.
Motion passes, we have 5.
Okay, thank you. Time for your 23-24 budget presentation, please.
Excellent. Okay. So 23-24 budget presentation. Usually I don't put photos in the presentation, but the Department of Education website went down for 3 hours today. So I had a little bit more time on my hands to get creative. Here we go. As you know, this is the budget here. This is the budget presentation, which I present to the board. Going back, we will do the public hearing on April 26th. So in the 23-24 budget, points of interest, health insurance rose by 9%. Health insurance across the state, that's actually under double digits, which most school districts saw double digits and above with health insurance increases. We are a part of a consortium group to have lower health insurance costs. So that has been working for us, and we plan on continuing with that. Of course, salaries are increasing. In this budget, we've added 2 additional teachers for special education. The goal would be to add the inclusion programs over at Downing Elementary School. So that way as students are classified, there will be inclusion classrooms in both Downing and also at Bingham. We are adding 1 additional school counselor in this budget, so we're going from 2 school counselors to 3. We are still discussing the finality of that in terms of what that position will look like. Also, our population has changed over the years with the number of ESL students that we have. Right now, we have 2 teachers who also teach special area classes that are serving our ESL students. We will be adding a district ESL teacher who will be working across the district, and that's actually required by code based on the numbers that we have. So getting that in place and making sure that we are complying with that. Facility upgrades, we have flooring upgrades taking place. Bathrooms are getting upgraded due to plumbing issues and just them being outdated. We are upgrading our security, HVAC, air conditioning is getting added to the Downing all-purpose room. Paving projects will be taking place at Bingham and also at Downing. And then also we have building repairs taking place across the district. In terms of funding, equalization aid, we did receive an additional $600,000 in state aid this year. All other areas that we received from the state and federal government received the same. It's also important to note that all of the ARP ESSER grants that we did receive, the 2 major ones expired, the last one expires as of this September 30th, and then the final grant that we do have, and we have some money left on that grant, expires September of 2024. So we'll be finalizing that and making sure that we're utilizing all those funds. We did receive additional preschool education aid funding for 2 provider classrooms. So on top of the 7 classrooms that we already are able to house, We did receive the additional money for that. We did not receive the official approval. That letter comes out April 1st across the state. Revenue generated in savings areas, which will continue, that we've been able to bring money in from, would be food service, before and after care, and then also transportation. 23-24 tax levy. This year we will be doing a 2% increase in tax levy, bringing our tax levy to $7,807,323. That's a $153,000 increase from last year's tax levy. In 22-23, we did a 1.5% increase. 21-22, we did a 0. That was the year that we got all of the ARPS or COVID CARES funding. In 2021, we did a 1%, and then in 19-20, we did a 2%. One thing that I always note is that as a school district, you are able to take 2% without needing a vote from the public. When you don't take 2%, it goes into what is called banked cap, meaning that money remains for 3 years, that if you don't take the 2% that you're able to, and you need that money to balance your budget in future years, you are able to take that money for up to 3 years. So just to give you an example, the money does increase as you, and then after year 3, it cuts off on the bottom. Does that make sense? Looking at 22-23's rate, it was 1.511% at the average home cost of $148,744. So in Runnemede, for the average home cost, the school tax would be $2,247.52. That's current year's rate. For 23-24, the rate is 1.5377. So at the average home cost, the school tax for the year would be $2,287.24. So based on the average home cost, there will be an increase in school tax of $39.72 for the year, which is $3.31 per month. It's $26.70 based on $100,000, or $2.23 per month based on that $100,000 number. Questions on that? 23-24 facility projects. Currently, so each year when we have, tonight the board will also be approving the audit, which we just got the final recommendations from the auditor. It keeps getting pushed back every single year. There are no audit findings. However, when we have the conversation about excess surplus, we always want to make sure that we're coming out of our current school year budget with money, which is considered excess surplus. From there, part of the money is used in terms of balancing the upcoming budget. The other money that you come out with, you want to make sure you're able to put into capital and maintenance reserves. Capital reserves we have built over time, and then what we do is we then pull that into our budget to do large projects throughout the school, and that's how we're able to do upgrades and updates. Maintenance reserves, we're able to bring in upwards of about $200,000 to put towards maintenance costs every year. Maintenance reserve is the only reserve account that the board is able to do an emergency resolution on when something goes wrong. So for example, the 1 year during COVID when we opened up all the dampers and an entire wing, the 4th and 5th grade wing, had to be remediated for mold, insurance did not cover any of that. It was our maintenance reserves that we were able to cash in on, do an emergency resolution, and we were able to get students back in the classrooms. So that is something that we are always doing. So this year we have flooring projects, bathroom projects, HVAC, asphalt. We have some building upgrades, which is a combination. We're doing some upgrades to lockers. We have cabinetry that's getting done and fixed. Camera system across all 3 schools. And then roofing. We have roofing upgrades. It's not a full roofing project. They're small projects. So in the cafeteria, the roof in Bingham needs to be fixed, and then we have a part of the roof in Downey that also needs to be fixed and adjusted. Any money that we don't use, that we pull out from capital reserves, goes back into capital reserves at the end of the year if it isn't spent. My favorite slide.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we
So
are.
I always highlight everything we've done. I've highlighted the areas that we are doing this year. So for curriculum, all curriculum and resources are current. We are getting 2 additional preschool classrooms at a provider location. For technology, new classroom smart boards. We do a yearly phase where we bring new smart boards every single year, make sure they're updated. Updated cameras and camera system. Special education teachers at Downing for inclusion. School counselor, district-wide ESL teacher. We are removing and replacing asbestos flooring across all 3 schools. I feel like I've been replacing flooring for years. Hopefully we'll be coming to an end on that, right, Frank? Bathroom upgrades, roofing upgrades at Bingham and Downing. Also, district transportation will be provided for homeless, and also athletic runs, which has saved us a ton of resources and money on that end as well. So we'll continue to be doing that. Any questions?
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Let's do the point.
Questions?
Good.
I don't have any questions on the budget, but I do have an addendum for number 4. I was here, I'm sorry, I was sworn in. I had to, my mind went blank for a minute, but I would have voted yes, because I was here for number 4.
No problem.
Also, you want us to vote on this? Where do you want me to add it on here, because it wasn't added to the agenda?
Under finance, yes.
So we're gonna add, tell me what else, so under finance, so it'll be number 11 under finance?
Yes, I apologize.
That's fine, and we're going to.
No, number 8, it's number,
Where's?
number 8 on the agenda.
This,
Yes,
that's,
it's the ACFR.
okay, because it never looked like that before.
They
so
give it
that's-
different names, so it's the ACFR now, it used to be the CAFR, but it used to be the comprehensive
Okay,
annual.
so this is
Yes,
on there.
that's number
Okay,
8.
so this is number 8, and that's why it's,
And I bolded that, I apologize.
all right. Back to the budget, any questions here? So just, there's gonna be some other little, like, there's some other things going on too, like with just upkeep and making things look a little nicer and, all of the, and, you know, it's music to my ears to get some special education teachers at Bingham. Downing, excuse me, Downing. Any other questions or issues or concerns here?
This is just for us to submit it to the county office for them to approve. Once they approve it, then we can approve it for final budget approval in April.
No? Okay. At this time, we're open for public comments on agenda items only. At this time, is there any public comment on agenda items? If not, then we will move on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Budget presentation. Thank you, Dr. McCown, for presenting that tonight. As he said, that will be submitted to the county office, and they usually give us a couple of recommendations, but nothing that's earth-shattering. If they give us any bids, we'll definitely pass that along. District Knowledge still study from last month. As we said last month, planning for the spring and end-of-year activities is already underway. The principals have reached out to the teachers for some ideas, as well as PTA for some ideas for end-of-year activities. Mr. Peely is organized graduation for at Triton, which I forget the date, June something.
What is the date?
June 14th?
13th, just waiting for final approval from Triton.
To be determined, but that's tentative.
What's that, Tuesday? Wednesday?
Yeah. So we'll pass along information. The school calendar is up for recommendation today. I want to thank the teachers union for kind of changing up things and bringing us in teachers staff-wise for PD on the 30th and 31st of August. We'll be off that Friday before Labor Day, and then kids will start on September 5th, which is a Tuesday, and that'll get us out.
So they don't have to come back that Monday. The kids had,
The way we originally had the schedule planned out, it was
That
going
makes
to look
sense.
like we have to bring kids in till Friday and teachers back Monday and Tuesday. So this, it gets us out, everybody out by the 14th of June, which is always a good thing. And then if you have any of the white stuff next year, we have some days to work with now as well. I do want to say thank you, Ms. Marciano and friends. Thank you for that. I know it's a big deal, but it is appreciated. County roundtable, basically our meeting the other day was just about budget stuff, so I was really kind of excited. And then school safety specialist training is still underway. We do certification hours every year. Keep those meetings. I had one with Hamilton the other day. Mr. Peely and I are going to one at the end of the month, I believe, in Raleigh College. And then Mrs. Panzarella, I want to thank you for all your hard work running the basketball weekend. And all the cast of thousands, it was a good time.
Entire district.
As I said, nobody got hurt, which is always the #1 goal. We are going to start recruiting some better players from the staff side, because we are sick of losing. So I want to thank you for that. It was a great time, I know. A lot of things
Thank
that
you,
weekend, so
and thank the entire, I did an email, did you send that?
Yes.
I did an email thanking the entire staff, because the 14 players that ended up on the bench were a very small portion of the presence. It was simply amazing. Shame on me for thinking the police versus fire would be the biggest game it by far was enough. And there was a contingency of, like I said, players, spectators, visitors throughout the weekend. Mrs. Wilson was there all weekend with me. Sam was there, and Mrs. Wilson's comment was, I cannot believe all the people that are here this year from the school district. It was awesome.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you, appreciate it. That's all I have for you. If you have any questions, we'll see you in April. The end of the month, remember, our next board meeting is
Yes.
last week in April because of budget submission.
26th. All right, if no questions for Mark, Sean?
Curriculum access testing is underway, that's for ASL students. We are prepping for NJSLA testing, which will be starting in May, and training staff on that. We have a March 24th Professional Development Day, which we're hoping to get the schedule out for that in the next 48 hours. And then we also have consultants on site, Kara Iva, who's been working with staff on SEL, and then also Sheila Richburg, who's been working with staff in language arts and literacy. In terms of the business office, of course, it's been budget season, as we like to talk about, right, Mr. Ernst? And so it's getting all that stuff done. Final budget submission has to be done by Monday to the county office. So we are kind of lined up and ready to go for that. And then also, the audit has been going back and forth. It keeps getting pushed back in terms of when it's due. Our auditors just got us the final document. I shared with everyone the summary page, which shows you recommendations, and also gives you just the breakdown of where everything was at the end of the year and where we moved money to for maintenance and capital reserves, which we discussed previously. That's all I have.
Any other questions? District reports, principals, nurses, building and ground special education reports, any questions on those? No? PTA, we have some, Sam, do you have anything to update us on that's coming up?
Yeah, so 2 weeks we have the kid bingo. It's going to be in APR. That's going to be grades 4 through 8. And Christine got some cool prizes today, TV, bikes for the kids. So some big prizes, they're going to like it. April 21st is a Friday. We still haven't figured out the name, but it's going to be a sports extravaganza for boys and their male. We haven't figured that part out yet.
Okay.
So we're not calling it,
I know what you're
not calling
talking
it
about.
Father's Day, but, so that's gonna be fun. And then basket auction, we're already planning, organizing, donations are coming in. That's Friday, May 19th in the large gym in the back.
Okay. You'll have something from us as well, from the
Oh, all
board.
right,
Okay.
thank you.
So that's May 19th?
Yes.
That's,
Friday, May 19th.
okay. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Any other committees, school boards, Camden County Ed Services Commission?
We had legislative committee, and Barb nicely took my place, so Barb, do you have a little report?
I don't have a
Or something to say?
It was really informative.
Really?
It was very informative.
Nice.
And they said the best part of it was that new where you have to do your training in the first whatever doesn't start until next year, which I think everything, it keeps reading like it's now, but it's really not until the next people come in. Like when whoever's the next, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not, because they it went in right after.
And they usually want you to be able to do it as school boards, which isn't until
October.
end of
Yeah.
October. So,
Yeah.
but with
Right.
everything going remote and everything being self-driven, they push out those emails immediately now, which is why everyone gets confused.
Right, I can say it's.
You don't have to send us anything. Thank you for covering. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you. Any other updates? All right, new business. Maria, you ready?
Ready?
All right, property and transportation. Need a motion to approve items numbers 1 through 3.
I'll make a motion. Oh, can I? Yes, I'll make a motion.
You can make a motion, yep.
Second.
Second by Patty. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Sams?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under personnel, I need a motion from items numbers 1 through 4.
I'll make that motion for 1 through 4.
Motion made by Angel,
Second?
second by Naomi. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella? Ms.
Yes.
Sams?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under finance, I need a motion for items numbers 1 through 10. Motion made by Heather,
Second?
seconded by Naomi. Any questions? And number 8, that is highlighted, is what Dr. McCarron just went over from the auditor. That's the only addition.
All good?
Yep, roll call, sorry.
No worries. Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Sams?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under curriculum, I need a motion to approve items numbers 1 through 7.
I'll make a motion to approve items 1 through 7 under curriculum.
Motion made by Maria. Good.
I'll second.
Second by Barbie. Any questions?
Some other things.
Yeah. Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Road Heather.
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella? Ms.
Yes.
Sams?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
For number 3 on the next one,
Mhm.
we're gonna add goals onto that.
So all district schools?
Yes. Is
Free
that going- is it
environmental
just goals?
assembly
Are you
for-
getting the environmental assembly, Bingham and Downey also?
I am.
So it's Bingham, Downey, and Volk, so it's all 3.
Yes.
All district schools. Okay, under policy and public relations, I need a motion for items numbers 1 through 4.
I'll make a motion on policy and public relations.
Motion made by Patty,
Second?
second by Naomi. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella? Ms.
Yes.
Sams?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
At this time, we are open for public comments. Anyone in the public have any public comment at this time? No? There's no need for executive session. We're doing good this year. Just keeping that
Why
transparency.
would you say?
Our next,
Jinx!
our next, is this real one? And our next meeting, again, is later. It is after spring break due to the public budget hearing, and that is on April 26th here in the Volks Library, 6:30. Okay? I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, motion made by Maria. Need a second? Second by Angel. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, the meeting is adjourned.